This is the app reaction time. It's an app designed to test your reaction time. It's very similar to many other apps called Reaction Time or something similar on the App Store, but there are some differences with this one. I think it is better overall, cleaner design, and also has some features that the other ones don't have. So I'll go over how to use the app here and some of the differences between it and the other ones in the store. So this is the icon here. So you just tap on that, and that starts up the app. And you see the main feature of the app is the blue circle in the middle that says ready. This is where you'll be interacting with the app, and you basically, to do it, use the app. You kind of read directions up here, which will only show the first time you run the app, where it says press and hold the blue circle, release when it turns green. So basically you press and hold, and it will, after a random amount of time, between about 2 and 6 seconds, it'll go from blue to green. At that point, you should try to pull your finger off as quick as possible, and basically the timer starts as soon as it turns green, and when you release, the timer is stopped, and it will give you your reaction time. Below you'll see it says quickest time, and by default that's set to 1000 milliseconds the first time you run it. And there's a second quickest time, which is also set to 1000 milliseconds, and then your average time. So here I'll demonstrate. So I'm going to put my finger in and press down and ready, and when it turns green and says go, I'll release my finger. So I'm pressing, and it goes go, and I release. So it gives your time, most recent time up top, which in this case was 535 milliseconds, around half a second. And since this is the first run, it's now my new best time, so it'll say that in red. It'll change the time to red, and it'll also record it down the bottom where it says 535 milliseconds is now the quickest time. And the average time, since it was just one run, is now 535 milliseconds. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to press and hold. Let go when it turns green. And now that time was a little faster. That was 432 milliseconds. It's a little under half a second. So again, it's red. It says new best time. And updated the times so that my old one is now the second quickest. The new time is the fastest. And my average time between the two runs is 483 milliseconds. Now this app will also run in landscape. So now I'm going to press and hold on the blue circle, release, and now that was faster than my second quickest time, so it updates that, and then calculates the average time of the 3 runs. It is now 466 milliseconds. So I can go back, and you just do that, basically press and hold. After a random amount of time, it'll go from blue to green, and then you release. And that's one of the reasons why this is a little bit better than some of the other apps, because with those, it'll actually, the color of the screen will turn, and then you're supposed to tap it, so your finger won't be touching the screen, and then you basically have to move your finger down and tap the screen. So I think by pulling it off, it just, off the screen instead of having to go down and tap, it's just a little more accurate about your raw reaction time versus the time you get your arm and hand and finger down and touch the screen. Now if you want to, just basically, even if you close the app down and start it back up again, the quickest time, the second quickest time will be remembered, and until you restart the phone or your phone decides to totally close the app out, your average time will be saved. But if you want to reset that, so if you've been practicing and you want to get to see what your reaction time average will be after like 10 runs in a row, just hit the back button to close it, start it back up again, and your quickest and second quickest times will be saved, but your average time will be reset. So then now when you're doing it, it will recalculate your average time, and that time happened to be my best time here. So that again goes to red and shows that new best time. But now as I'm doing it, it will continue to calculate a new average time until I either go into settings for the application and delete the data for the app, or if I hit the back button, that'll reset the average time, but the quickest time and quickest time will be saved. And if you want to reset those, again, you could go into the settings of your phone, go into applications, and go into the storage option, and there you'll see a button that says clear data, and that will reset the app like it was just installed, or you can uninstall and reinstall it, whichever way. But that's the basics of how you use Reaction Time, the app, and I hope you enjoy using it.